Hi, I'm Dr. Gail, and I'm a starseed healer. And today I have another story to tell you, and it is for entertainment purposes only. Now, this is about my dog Moon, who passed, and she is now my pilot. And it went in through that she was up on the spaceship with me in the beginning, and then she became my pilot. And we were going on, this is probably about our third mission that we were going on together. And we were to go to Africa where a spaceship had crashed. And so we took off. It was man, woman, and their 2 children. I'm not sure about their marriage or their commitments, how they do that. I know they do commit to each other, but I'm not sure if they actually call it marriage. I'll ask them that someday. But anyway, we arrived and I had to go into the spaceship to get them, and it turned out the mother and the 2 children were fine, but the husband was unconscious. And at first I didn't know if he was alive or not. So I quickly got the 2 children and the mother back into our spaceship and went back in and assessed him to see if he was still alive. And he was. He was barely alive, but he was alive. So I called my assistant Clarice to come help me. Now, she came down and we were trying to figure out how we were going to get him out of there. I mean, he was stuck. The crash had gotten him stuck in the passenger seat. No, he was in the driver's seat. I guess the captain's seat. and he was crushed against the front. And we weren't able to, we didn't have the strength to move him. So we were trying to figure out what we were going to do. I knew if we hooked him to our spaceship and took him back, he probably wouldn't survive. So I was real worried about how we were going to do this. So all of a sudden, Clarice and I were talking and we're trying to figure it all out on what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. All of a sudden, this big white Wookie comes into the spaceship. Never seen it before. And comes and picks him up and takes him to the spaceship. So look at Clarice. What just happened? Who was that? So we get back to the spaceship. Well, it turned out it was Moon. She's a shapeshifter. She can go from, I guess, any shape. The ones I'm familiar with is, of course, when she was my dog. She was a big white German Shepherd. And now she can turn into a white Wookie when I need her. Great for protection. Who's gonna mess with a white Wookie? But anyway, so we did get him back into the spaceship, and I was able to start taking care of him as we were going back to the big spaceship. So, of course, now I'm going, I didn't know if he still was going to survive, but at least I thought he had a fighting chance. So we made it back to the big spaceship, and here comes Moon, picks him up and takes him up to the stretcher. They weren't able to give him the spaceship to get him. She picked him up and put him in the stretcher, and they do have flying stretchers. So back to sick bay, they went with him, and I escorted the 2 children and the mother to sick bay. Now this time, I still only have access to the spaceship and to sick bay. That's my only access that I have, the spaceship. I'm not working on it or anything this time. This is way back a year ago. So anyway, I escort them back there, and they're starting to work on them, and I'm staying with the family and going back and forth, giving them a little update, where the family wasn't showing any emotions. And I did talk about this a little bit in the Deanna Troy video that I did way back when. But this was unusual for me, that a family, you know, their father was dying and they weren't showing much emotion. So, but I think that might be typical of some grays. I mean, I know they have part human now, so some of them have a lot of emotions and some don't. With these, none of them, the children or the mother, showed much emotions. I was showing more emotion than all of them combined, because I was tearing up because I was so upset that he was not doing well. And especially what really got my heart was when we were transporting him on the stretcher, he grabbed my hand to hold it as we went there. And I felt, you know, they have these humongous hands, and he had 3 fingers and big hands. And he held my hand. I felt like I was a little teeny little pecan in his hand. It was so small compared to that big hand. But I walked all the way back with him while he was holding my hand. And as I said, I was getting upset with him not doing well, and watching what they were doing. I was just really upset. So finally, I asked if I could give him some energy. I'd never done this before, but I wanted to give anything a try to make him survive. And so they agreed, and he agreed. And so I went in, and I was trying to give him some energy. I was touching him, I was hugging him, I was holding his hands, I was doing anything I could to give him some energy. And while I was doing it, he was improving. He kept improving. This was my first discovery of how energy really works. It really, really works. I got him to the place where he was able to survive, and they had something to really work with at that time. I was ecstatic. I had never used energy like that before. I mean, I know all about it, but I have just not had to experience it in that aspect before. So anyway, I backed off and went and told them what was going on and that he was doing better, and that he now, they said he would survive. So I was ecstatic he was going to survive. And anyway, that's my story today about the gray, and I'm not real sure why they weren't able to give the energy, but later on I now know why, because I am the doctor on the ship, so I'm the one that's in charge of all that. Just discovering it one step at a time at this point. I had just discovered Moon was my pilot and that she could turn into a Wookie. Never knew that. But anyway, that's my story today. It is for entertainment purposes only. And please subscribe, like, and comment if you will. Thank goodness I remembered it this time. Thanks. You have a good day. Bye-bye.